on Facebook, and I don't think hiding behind a screen is a really good way to build relationships. So I've got my notes on the side, and we're just going to talk through those. We've only got 3 slides to walk through, and then we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A. But you guys also get the benefit of, I just went to a class yesterday, or a seminar yesterday, on emotional intelligence and the Enneagram and figuring out my personality type. And so I had an aha moment, and I'm like, how did we not talk about mindset around Facebook in the beginning? Because that's really where it starts. And so I want you guys to kind of think about, that saying, what other people think about you is none of your business. You really got to hold on to that when it comes to Facebook, right? So people are going to like you. People aren't going to like you. That's okay. We're not looking for everybody to like us. We're just looking for the people that we want to help. But I think that we have to reframe a lot of the negative perspectives that we have around social media in general. And Matt has been a key player in really helping me reframe my mindset because I because I had this thing when I kind of this well, 2 things. Imposter syndrome. I'm like, I can't be out and put myself in front of people. I'm not a content creator. I'm not an influencer. So I had kind of a negative connotation around that. And Matt has really helped me work through that from a perspective of, that's not what I'm trying to be. And that's okay. If people perceive that that's what I'm trying to do. But I also had to really put my mind around, like, what is my why? Why am I posting on social media? And of course, it's to build business. But it's truly to build relationships. So for me, I am a passionate connector of people. I want to connect people and build authentic relationships with people, have meaningful conversations. And so for me, I feel like that ties into every aspect of my life. In real estate, I'm connecting buyers and sellers. I have a lot of business to business relationships where we're building referrals, but I'm also building up the businesses. So if you look on my Facebook page, I can't tell you the number of times I'm posting about different businesses and really just raising up people and products that I truly believe in. But that, for me, that's my why. I'm a passionate connector of people, and I want to continue to connect with people and build these meaningful relationships. So I would challenge you guys to say, why is it that you're really in your business? What are you really wanting to help people do? And how can you leverage your why to build a message or craft an experience for your audience on Facebook? And Matt, I'm going to have you unmute and tell them your why and your purpose, because I love yours as well.
Well, I put the exercise that we did in the chat, and I think this is really appropriate for everybody to be able to answer. Right? We always talk about, like, what's the elevator pitch? Like, when you're in a networking or you're in a meeting, when you talk to somebody and they say, "Well, what do you do?" Right? Like, and it's not selling real estate, because, like, real estate sells itself. That's not what we do. And, like, what you do is oftentimes tied to why you do it. Right? So, Michelle asked, like, so what's my thing? And you may have heard me say this before. So I work with entrepreneurs and business owners to help them gain time back through systems and leverage so that they can become more present instead of having to rely on buying presents to show their family that they love and care for them. That's what I do. How we do it? Through coaching, accountability, through systems, through education, right? And so what do we do? Those types of things. So anyway, so that's my thing. And it took me quite a while to develop that way. And so when you do this exercise, I'd love for you guys to think just like what Michelle did. So, like, outside of, what do I do? Well, I sell houses. Yeah. So does like 1.3 million people. Cool. How do you stand out amongst the masses? Why do you do what you do? What's the purpose behind what you do? And Michelle has a great one, right? Like, she's a passionate connector of people. She gets to do that through real estate. So, yeah, now I'm mute again.
Yeah. And so I encourage you to figure out your why, because it's going to change the way you post too, right? If you just sell real estate, then your posts are going to look like all you care about is selling real estate. I care about connecting with people and building relationships, and my posts reflect that. So if you change the way you think about things, what's that saying, Matt? You can unmute again. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Is that right?
Nailed it.
So yeah, just if you change the way that you look at your job and what you do as more than just a job, I think it's going to change how you post. So, all right. And then being the connector. This is huge. I touched on this a little bit, but tagging people, not in a spammy way. Do not go and tag all 27 of your friends that you think would like, that's not my way of doing business, to get into, tag everybody on your post because it's going to have more people see it. But tag people when it's relevant. When you're out with your friends, if your friends are okay with you tagging them, tag them. When you're talking about a business at a restaurant, like if you're taking a picture and you're at a restaurant and you're not tagging that restaurant, you're doing it wrong, because you want to tap into their audience as well. Things you're passionate about, if you're tagging those people, those products, those things, you're not only tapping into their audience, but you're letting those people know, like, hey, I care about what you have here and I'm promoting what you have here. A lot of times that gets reciprocated back to your own business as well. And then leave reviews for people. I know it's real easy to get past leaving reviews for businesses, but I do find if I leave reviews on businesses, a lot of those businesses in turn follow me and reciprocate in other ways as well. So just leveraging those business to business relationships and kind of connecting with people and tapping into their pages and audience as well. And then last, I want to just talk about protecting your time, because I think that social media, we can all go down that hole of the scroll where we're just losing time in social media. And one thing that my social media coach taught us that I think was really impactful is to schedule times to make your posts and schedule times throughout the day to respond to your posts. So 5 to 10 minutes multiple times a day is when you're going to get on and do your posts, or when you're going to get on and check the and respond and interact back. You don't want to have your, every time your phone dings that you're jumping on there, because then you're going to get that squirrel syndrome and you're not going to make your calls like you need to. You're not going to get the other things done. So setting and scheduling intentional time to do your social media posts and your responses, but also set times to scroll. We all want to scroll. We all want to consume social media. So put a timer on it, 15 to 30 minutes, whatever you want to deem in your calendar as your social media time. That's perfectly fine too. You need to engage with other people. You do need to be scrolling, but just set boundaries around it, because otherwise you'll feel like you're on social media all the time and you just live in this fake world and don't get everything that you need to done. And then, create more than you consume. So you're going to be creating and having conversations on social media more than you're consuming social media. That's going to help you boost your business and not go down that rabbit hole of social media as well. So I think that was it. If you guys didn't see part 1, we do have it recorded, and I will happily send that to you, where we went over a little bit more in detail, the algorithm and what you should be posting and what your avatar should look like. So if you guys want that, let us know and we'll send you that link. We'll open it up and see who has questions or comments about the last few days. Matt, I'm getting to experience that weird feeling when you just have to stare and wait.
I think everybody on the call should ask a question to the group and then stare at faces that don't respond and see how awesome it is. It's so fun, and everyone should do it.
Michelle, I have a question.
Yeah.
What equipment do you like to use?
Yes, I can send you what I use. So my best tool of all is my iPhone. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, Android users.
It's okay. We have better cameras anyway.
No, I don't know. But no, my iPhone is my favorite. I have, like, if I'm recording in my office, I have a little ring light on the side. I have a microphone that I don't have hooked up right now, but that I will use. And I can put together a sheet with all the links to the things that I use. When I do interviews out with other businesses, I always have like lapel microphones that plug into my phone, because audio is so important. I forgot that with the last business interview I just did, and it was so echoey. Yep. Very much like that. Yeah.
There's these little Bluetooth ones. They're like $40, $35 that are good. That the bass plugs into your phone, and then there's 2 microphones, and you can put one on you and the person, and it goes right into your phone. and it changes the dynamic of the recording.
Yeah. And then one of my other favorite things is get a gimbal. This one is the DJI Osmo. It's like $99. And I tell you what, the video quality when I use this and use their app is night and day different. And it's super smooth. Like I can just do all kinds of walkthroughs and different things without having to worry about it shaking, and it's got all kinds of cool features. So that is probably one of my favorite things to bring with me. And you guys might have already known this. I literally just figured this out last weekend, that my Apple Watch, I can start my camera from my watch. So instead of having to like hit play and then run away and then edit that out, now I've got the tools to start it and then not have to have that piece of it. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. So
those are, yeah,
let me
nothing-
ask another question to the group. So like if your own self judgment and your own limiting beliefs and your worry about how you're perceived on social media was no longer a challenge, what would your social media accounts look like and sound like? How would you desire to show up authentically for the world if you had the superpower of just being deflective of all the things that people might say or think?
More like Michelle's.
Oh, that's sweet.
that's like a mom comment.
I love that.
Thanks for the encouragement, Mom.
Maybe I need to invite my mom on this call.
Uh,
Yeah, what would you be doing more of? What would you like to do more of? What would you be proud of if you got to remove that layer of judgment?
Okay, out of the mom mode and out and into the real estate
Mhm.
mode, I would like to have more educational videos and also community videos myself.
Okay. And so Peggy, what do you think is the biggest thing holding you back from even starting?
I think it's fear. You know, I look at myself even on this call here, you know, I have a cold and I put on a warm fluffy shirt so I look like it actually looks I'm looking at it, I look like I got out of bed, but I did take a shower and do all that stuff. But long story short, just looking at myself and I feel I guess I'm real. It's me, but I I always look at myself and think, "Oh, okay, you know, what are people going to think?" I guess it's just the fear.
Hmm.
I used to have that fear too, and I can't tell you how many times I would re-edit videos or delete videos and re-record them. I mean, it would take like 30 takes. But like this morning, I did a live. I was sweaty after my workout, but I had a good idea and I wasn't going to lose that idea. And so everybody got to see me and thankfully not smell me this morning when I did a live. And so I think you have to get over that sometimes. It's natural, but you got to push through that fear too. Because if you let that fear hold you back, then you just never do it.
Blake's got his hand up. What's up, buddy?
Hey. Sorry, I'm late to the call here. But I just wanted to share something that was really valuable. That was kind of brought to my attention last night. There was a real aha that as a society, when did we start being so concerned with cool or not doing a thing because it's not cool enough or it's corny? Why are we so concerned with cool? It's really just it's putting these limitations on us. It's putting this doubt. And when we have that doubt, our human reaction is to stop. When it should be that doubt is our natural inclination. In reality, like this is when we need to step into learning more. Like it's exciting. We'll never know everything.
Yeah, man.
But when we feel the doubt, it's often stop. And I think I would just challenge, maybe not like here I am challenging, but I'm done being concerned with cool or corny.
Yeah.
I'm concerned with like what's going to add value.
Well, that's easy
What's
for
going
you
to
to say
uplift my
because
people around, right?
you're super cool. That's easy for you to say because you ooze cool.
Trust me, I'm not. You hear my cold, Peggy? I got a cold too, right? So,
This brings up an awesome point, right? So Jen Gottlieb, I don't know if you guys follow Jen Gottlieb. She's pretty prolific in the space as far as like helping coaches and creators. And she was doing an interview with Ed Milet, and she was talking about there was a time where she was looking up to somebody else on social media, one of her mentors, and so she was pushing out a lot of content. And the mentor said something to her though that caught her off guard, and said something about like, hey, some of those posts you're putting out are kind of cringy. This was the mentor that said it to her. And she looked up at the mentor and was like, my followings are starting to surpass yours. So maybe you should put out some more cringy content too. Because it's in between the cringe where you find your voice. And oftentimes, sometimes the cringe will find your audience. I've stopped doing retakes about 2 years ago. Everything that I post online, it's one. It's a one. You may see me edit some space out of it. I never re-record anything. You get me. You get me on first take. Because if you don't get me on first take, you're going to get a version of me that I think you want to see, which isn't me. And then when we meet, you're disappointed and I'm pissed because I don't like you either. So authenticity equals fun, because your people will resonate with you, and the people that need to get out of here, man. Yeah, Blake, hands up.
So to that point, I'm so glad you brought that up. As we take and strive for perfection, what we're actually not doing is we're not searching for protection. We're actually pretending to be a version of ourselves that is not true.
Yeah.
And you will attract people to that pretend version of yourself. And then you'll find yourself in a relationship with somebody that is like has tension naturally. And it's like, well, what did you expect? It's not their fault. You were pretending to be a version that it was not your true self.
Mm-hmm.
So if we stop pretending, we'll attract the people in our lives who we actually want to do life with, and life will probably get a little bit easier and a little bit more fun. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that goes back to the conversation we had about attracting our avatar of people that we want to communicate with on social media. And that is true. Like, how many of you guys actually watch people on social media that are perfect and polished? And how many of you actually follow people that are their authentic self and enjoy seeing them much more than the perfect and polished versions? So why would someone else expect something different out of you than what you're expecting from your experience on social media?
That's such a good point. I got to meet two of my heroes. Well, one of my heroes. One of them was, okay. One of my heroes is Alex Hermosi, definitely a hero of mine. And he, as I was like, wow, you are exactly who you are. And I got to talk to you for like 10 minutes. There is nothing pretend about you. It is all there. And that's why I was like, whoa. And then I met Theo Vaughn, and he is exactly who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really like, I don't know. I find that the people that are really themselves, that really put themselves out there, there is no pretending. There is no act. It is.
Yeah.
So
I love this. We got a great classroom here. We got polite hands up in the air. We got Jenna next, and then Amy will be right after that.
No, I was just going to mention I've recently, within the last couple of months, started podcasting and doing more like lives and stuff like that. And it took me I come from a marketing background. It took me a long time to get to a place where I can wear my hat, and yes, my jacket matches my stupid hat. And I'm sitting here looking at myself going, whatever, it is what it is, But I think I've definitely attracted a lot more clients and people to me that like my personality. And I'm sassy and crass and sarcastic, and it works for me, but
Yeah.
it doesn't work for everybody. And so I've kind of
That's okay.
pushed away those people that don't resonate with me, and I'm okay with that, because then I can be me, and so it creates space for me to be me and actually help people get there. So I've been enjoying it, but I'm still learning, and I get nervous, and I don't have any makeup on today, and
Me
I
either.
decided to hop on this call like 5 minutes before and was like, you know what? Pardon me, but fuck it. Here we are. And
Let's
that's
go.
kind of been my attitude about it. So just be you.
Thanks, Jenna. Amy.
I think one thing that really helps the cool factor or the judginess of making a video is you've got to let go of your judgment of other people's content and videos.
Ooh, next
'Cause,
level.
yeah, it's fun to watch those and be like, what was she thinking? But she can think whatever she wants. That's her platform, and I get to do my gig. I mean, that's the whole platform of this, right?
Yeah.
Is we get to create our own journey with it, but you've got to let go of what was she wearing? That lipstick is wrong for her. Like, you just got to let go of that stuff so that you can show up and be present however you want to.
There's a guy on Instagram right now. I don't know how long he's been doing it, but if you don't know Brad Scott, the unprofessional realtor, you must go there immediately and watch some of this content because it is absolute gold. And I love every ounce of it. And I would be posting this stuff all day. It's amazing. If you haven't watched it, he's in Texas. He's just outside of San Antonio. His walkthrough videos are absolute gems. 10 out of 10 would recommend. As soon as you're off this call, some of you are already watching it. I know, Brad, you're on mute. That's
Hashtag BAS.
cool. BAS count. He's like, when you get to a certain income bracket, you get Planet Fitness fans. Anyway, so I shared this content with several of my coaching clients earlier this week because they were also having some challenges creating content and like, what do I say and how do I do it? And I'm like, how are you managing your cadence with your projects for your channel? And he's like, yeah, I'm not. And I'm like, so what's the deal? And he's like, it just feels like a chore. I was like, it's because you don't love it. Right. It's because you feel like you have to be a reporter. You feel like you're somebody on site and like, this is the weather and there's traffic. Like I said, go to this account, take a look at this. That one video of that house got 1.4 million views in 5 days. And it was hilarious and not typical and probably turned off a few people. But who did it turn on? 1.4 million other people. Do you think that seller is okay that they got kind of roasted a little, but like in a fun way on that video to get 1.4 million views? Why do you think celebrities go on roast? People like getting roasted. And so he does like a really fun way. He roasts properties in like a really cool way. Anyways, you got to find your voice. The only way to find your voice is to put yourself out there, right? Marcus, hand raised. We're pushing the timeline. Go get it.
Real quick, I was just going to say on that note, when you don't know what to post, someone told me recently, just document what you're doing. Like, you don't have to, think of anything special. Just go through your day and just take a quick video or, a selfie, of just whatever it is you're doing. Just document your day. That kind of simplified it for me. So maybe that's helpful.
Right on. Right on. Well, we are at time, guys. It's 9:31. I want to respect you guys. Thanks for being here. We're going to keep this conversation rolling in a couple of different ways. I know that last time on Wednesday, we were talking about putting together possibly like a workshop where we get a little bit deeper into some tactics and strategies, like actually showing you like, okay, so like when I do a video, here's what I do. Here's how I edit this. And here's how I do this. And here's how I do this. And if you guys are interested, we will reach back out and be shooting invites for those who want to participate in that workshop and kind of go from there. So thank you, everybody. Have an amazing, authentic, and super badass weekend. Later.